When you picture a Viking, your mind probably conjures a Hollywood-inspired archetype. A wild, rugged warrior with long, filthy, matted hair, a dirt-stained face, and perhaps a few messy braids thrown in for good measure. We are told they were unkempt beasts who conquered through raw, animalistic chaos. But the historical and archaeological record reveals a completely different reality. Vikings were actually hyper-obsessed with personal grooming, cleanliness, and incredibly bizarre hair trends. To understand the reality of Norse fashion, we have to look at how their contemporary neighbors saw them. In the 10th century, Anglo-Saxon chronicler John of Wallingford wrote a detailed, frustrated complaint about the pagan Danes. He lamented that the Vikings were successfully seducing English noblewomen because they bathed every single Saturday, combed their hair daily, and changed their clothes regularly. For a Viking, a comb was not a cheap, casual accessory. It was a high-status personal treasure. In fact, combs are among the most common artifacts found in Viking graves, often buried in custom protective leather cases, hand-carved from deer antlers or whalebone. These combs were highly engineered tools used to fight off lice, style hair, and signal wealth to the community. Vikings achieved their distinct styles using surprisingly advanced personal grooming kits. Along with bone combs, archaeologists regularly unearth custom ear picks, small tweezers, and razor-sharp iron shears from Viking settlements. The historical Norseman did not chop his hair with a battle axe. He maintained it with the precision of a modern barber. So, what did the signature Viking haircut actually look like? The most popular style for warriors was a bizarre, forward-heavy haircut known as the reverse-mullet, or the Norman haircut. According to contemporary drawings, the back of the Viking's head was shaved entirely bald, while the hair on the top and front was left incredibly long, falling forward over the face. This forward-heavy style is explicitly detailed in an Old English letter from the 11th century. In it, a man advises his brother to abandon the shameful Danish fashion of shaving the neck and leaving long hair on the forehead. This wasn't just a trend, it was a tactical hairstyle designed to keep hair from getting caught in helmet joints during shield wall combat. For Viking men, the beard was the ultimate symbol of masculinity, maturity, and legal status. An unkempt, dirty beard was highly looked down upon. Instead, beards were meticulously trimmed, combed daily, and often styled into complex configurations. Many warriors braided their beards, split them into two distinct points, or used decorative metallic rings to bind them. But the strangest grooming trend was chemical. Vikings placed an extreme cultural premium on blonde hair. If a Norse warrior had dark hair, they would use a highly caustic, potash-heavy soap mixture to actively bleach their hair, beards, and sometimes even their eyebrows. The process not only lightened their hair, but also chemically killed any head lice. Viking women had their own strict, socially significant hair standards. Unmarried women typically wore their hair completely loose and flowing, sometimes adorned with a simple wreath or headband. Married women, however, wore their hair pulled back into a distinctive high-status knot called a Viking knot or onion bun, which was secured with colorful ribbons. Hairstyling also varied heavily by region and class. While a Scandinavian farmer might wear a simple, practical trim, a wealthy merchant trading in Byzantium would adopt foreign styles, such as the shaved heads of Eastern Europe. This regional variance shows that Viking culture was not a monolithic block of wild warriors, but a highly adaptive global fashion network. So why did the myth of the dirty, unkempt Viking take such a tight grip on our modern imagination? Much of it comes from the 19th century when Victorian-era artists and writers romanticized the Middle Ages. They wanted to draw a sharp contrast between their own neat, civilized industrial world and the wild, untamed barbarians of the ancient past, creating a fiction. By replacing this Victorian fiction with historical truth, we discover that grooming was a key component of Viking social order. Combing your hair and trimming your beard was a daily ritual of self-respect, community bonding, and class signaling. When a Norseman stepped onto a longship, he was not a wild beast. He was a meticulously styled representative of his culture. The truth about Viking hair reminds us that history is almost always more sophisticated than the myths we build around it. The Norsemen didn't conquer Europe through wild, unkempt chaos. They did it with highly engineered ships, sharp tactics, and a surprisingly sharp sense of style. Stay tuned as we continue to tear open the secret blueprints operating right within the history of our world.